The United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense latest intelligence update on Ukraine, October 31, 2023. Deputy Commander of Russian forces in Ukraine, Colonel General Mikhail Teplinsky, has likely taken over command of Russia's Dnipro Grouping of Forces. He replaces Colonel General Oleg Makhaevich. The Dnipro River grouping is responsible for occupied Kherson Oblast south of the Dnipro River. Fighting has intensified in Kherson as Ukraine contests Russian control of the Dnipro River's southern bank. Teplinsky is highly regarded by Russia's general staff and has experience in the area from overseeing Russia's withdrawal north of the Dnipro River in November 2022. Holding territory in occupied Kherson is a high priority for Russia. Teplinsky's appointment indicates increased pressure on Russian forces defending the area. Ukraine's Armed Forces General Staff Update. Day 615 of Russia's attempted full-scale invasion of Ukraine continues. 59 combat engagements occurred. Russia launched 7 missile strikes, 65 airstrikes, and 31 multiple launch rocket system attacks against Ukrainian positions. Russia also launched strikes using 4 Iskander-M ballistic missiles and S-400 missiles, damaging civilian infrastructure and wounding civilians. The situation remains active in eastern and southern Ukraine. Russia maintains military presence along the border and continues reconnaissance and shelling from Russian territory. Over 30 Ukrainian settlements were shelled. Russia made unsuccessful assault attempts near several towns in Kharkiv, Luhansk, and Donetsk oblasts. Russia conducted air and artillery strikes across Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson oblasts. Russia launched unsuccessful assault operations in various parts of Donetsk Oblast. All attacks were repelled. Ukraine continues offensive operations in Melitopol and Bakhmut directions, inflicting losses on Russian forces. Ukraine launched air, missile, and air defense strikes against Russian forces, destroying some military assets. The Institute for the Study of War Russian Offensive Campaign Assessment. The Russian offensive campaign has largely culminated, and Russia is unlikely to be able to restart major offensive operations in the next several months. Russian forces continue to make incremental gains in Donetsk, but have not achieved any major advances recently. Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov responded to antisemitic riots in Dagestan by voicing support for Putin's claim that the West orchestrated the riots to destabilize Russia. Kadyrov threatened violent repression of any potential protests in Chechnya, saying security forces should fire warning shots and then shoot protest instigators in the head if needed. Kadyrov's reactions suggest he is primarily concerned with displaying loyalty to Putin and authoritarian control in Chechnya, rather than the substance of the riots. His threats highlight regime concerns about potential unrest spreading to other regions and a perceived need to firmly crush any protests before they grow. The Institute for the Study of War Key Takeaways today. Ukrainian forces continued offensive operations near Bakhmut and in western Zaporizhia Oblast. Russian forces launched missile and drone strikes across Ukraine. Russian authorities detained 2 suspects for killing a Ukrainian family in occupied Donetsk. Russian sources claimed Ukraine conducted missile strikes in Crimea on October 30th. Russian forces continued offensives along several axes in eastern and southern Ukraine, including near Bakhmut, Avdiivka, Donetsk City, Zaporizhia Oblast. Former Wagner fighters are redeploying to Ukraine within other Russian units. Russian occupation officials continue efforts to suppress Ukrainian language and culture.